welcome to Pitch Brand Talk. I'm Simran Sabarwal. A sector that has really bounced back after the pandemic has been the travel sector. And today I have with me Deepa Krishnan. She's the head of marketing India and Southwest Asia at Hyatt. Deepa, hi.
Hi, Simran. Thank you so much for having me.
Deepa, like I just mentioned that, travel has bounced back and how. So how has the year been for Hyatt and which segments have you seen that have led the growth?
So, you're absolutely right. I think the hospitality sector, and therefore, luckily for us, travel has bounced back tremendously, especially after COVID. There has been a report which says that the number of trips that Indians are going to be taking is going to double from around 2.3 billion to 5 in the next 4 years. So, that's the scale that we're really looking at. And the sector has, of course, been booming. For us, we saw 33% increase in our RevPAR, which is revenue per available room, in the last year. And this year, as of H1, we've seen a very, very strong double-digit number on top of the 33% growth. So it's absolutely, a very, very strong performance for the hospitality sector. I think some of the segments that are driving this growth, I would say a couple of them. One is, of course, weddings continue to be big. We saw, really, really fantastic statistics on wedding. In fact, if we look at our wedding business, in 2023, it grew by 200% over 2019. And this
Wow.
year, we've grown 25% over 2023. So that's how the wedding segment has grown. And if you look at even the individual traveler and corporate, we are seeing a huge bounce back from those segments as well. And that's what's driving a very, very strong double digit growth for us. Interestingly, we find that all of this demand is largely driven by domestic. International demand is still not overtaken, let's say, 2019 levels. And one can only imagine what will happen once that also normalizes.
It's interesting. But I just want to also get your take. Hyatt India has just launched its official corporate Instagram page in India, which is really surprising that it's taken such a long time for Hyatt India to come on board. Why so?
Well, we have been on Instagram for a very long time. In fact, our hotels, our individual hotels, have very
Okay.
much been on Instagram. But we definitely felt that as Hyatt India and having that one voice for the entire region, it was important to have a representative Instagram page of our own, which is why we're launching that. And I think the reason is obvious. If you look at the number of consumers today on social media, it's humongous. And this is a great opportunity for us to really tell the Hyatt India story. And we have some really, really exciting stuff really happening with the launch, which is actually scheduled to go live this weekend as we speak.
You also associated with Vani Kapoor. So with I think a 6 episode series. So can you just tell us what is this partnership all about?
Sure. So, I think at the heart of what we're trying to do through even our Instagram launch, which is going to be a very high decibel launch, is to bring alive Hyatt's purpose of care. As a brand, we are known for caring for all our stakeholders, whether it's our customers, our partners, our employees, etc. And that's what we really want to bring about. And we were, of course, looking for a perfect partner who would resonate Hyatt's warmth, authenticity, and level of personalization and care. And Vani Kapoor was the perfect fit. So yes, you will see an exciting set of content which will actually start coming live from the 14th. We have a teaser. We have 6 pieces of content which actually talk about the various aspects of hospitality, which Hyatt is really well known for. And this is going to be something that you will see very, very soon.
Any other content that you will be putting out over here to engage with your consumers?
So, it's going to be a plethora of content. One is, of course, going to be a very, very high profile launch that I talked about. And that's really going to delve into various aspects of hospitality, how we are able to anticipate a customer's needs, how we're able to go above and beyond and create special memories, how we're always being able to care from the heart, etc. Over and above this, of course, you will see interesting content on our various launches that we do, which is hotel stories, and of course, innovations that we do with our food and beverage. There will be content on World of Hyatt. Our loyalty program is one of the most well-known loyalty programs, even outside the hospitality industry. We will be talking about that as well. And Hyatt is, as a brand, really known for all its offerings in the luxury, lifestyle, wellness space. So you will see content pegs in all of these. So I think all in all, it's going to be something which is going to be a powerhouse platform for storytelling, for innovative content, which will be really engaging.
Now you mentioned food and beverage. So you also launched another campaign for your food and beverage sector, right? Sorry, food and beverage part of Hyatt. Now, like I mentioned to you, it's very surprising because generally when we see hotel campaigns, it's a 360 degrees experience that we see. But here you've just focused on your signature restaurant brands. What prompted you to go down this route?
Well, I think food and beverage is a very big contributor to revenues across the hospitality sector, and certainly for Hyatt. And if you ask anybody in India and Southwest Asia, what are the couple of things that Hyatt is known for? I think the first thing that will come about is hospitality and care. And the second will definitely be our, restaurants. I think people have always loved the fact that we've put in so much of innovation, thoughtfulness to sourcing, attention to detail, etc., with our restaurants. I also believe that when you have to tell a story, you have to be very clear and single minded about it. So if you're doing a story on our food and beverage in our restaurants, which is through the lens of care, uh, then we might as well tell that story because consumers are, I think, quite tired of seeing tried and tested formulas. Consumers care for really deep storytelling, which is rooted in consumer insight and emotion that touches their heart. And for us, for this campaign, we really dug deep into some of the cultural truths that are there, in our country. One is the fact that the interest and attention to food has never been as high as it's now. There are millions of content of on food on Instagram and various other platforms, right? And in the face of all this, we also know that Indians are so passionate about food. So the insight was that sometimes brilliant food, great food, can actually make you forget the other extraordinary things of an experience. And that's what our campaign is rooted in, that no matter what we do, our restaurants take all your attention. So irrespective of the fact that we may have great service, thoughtfulness, attention to detail, all that is fantastic, but we've actually taken a creative kind of jump to say that in spite of all of this, our restaurants take all your attention. And that's really what our new campaign is about.
There's another launch from Hyatt. There's campaigns and launches galore at Hyatt, but you've launched the Grand Showroom. Can you just tell us more about this? This is also, I think, you reach out to the MICE segment with this, right? So can you tell us about this?
Absolutely. So we had a fantastic launch for the Grand Showroom, and this is part of the Grand Hyatt Mumbai. And through this, the reason for launching this was that we found that the entire events, weddings, my space is kind of going through a change because the level of personalization that people want or the level of luxury that they want is not really easily available in India. And that's the gap that we saw. So through the launch of the Grand Showroom, we are really trying to redefine what luxury means in the context of events, weddings, and really the MICE space. And of course, we will bring in the whole Hyatt element of personalization, attention to detail, and care. So the Grand Showroom is this really beautiful venue which is almost ready and pre-designed for you to conduct events that you like. It's inspired by Broadway and Bollywood. It's very theatrical, it's very dramatic. And unlike a lot of other venues, once again over here, the culinary experience is so immersive that you're part of the whole journey. You're not just an audience who's coming and eating food, but you're part of the culinary drama and the magic. I think you will have to really visit it to experience it. Words can only say so much, but it's an absolutely fantastic property that we have.
You cater to different age groups, families, etc. Is there any difference in marketing to say millennials and Gen Zs versus say the older segment? Like are millennials looking more at customized experiences, or what are these cohorts looking for?
Oh, absolutely. I think we're seeing very, very clear differences that are emerging. One is, I think, if you look at Gen Z and millennials, very clearly they have prioritized experiences over materialistic goods. So, this is a generation which has started postponing or not even thinking of buying a house, but rather traveling the world, right? And I think COVID has given a further fillip to this mentality. So, with millennials and Gen Z, it is a lot about experiences. It's about wellness. I think wellness is extremely important again for the segment. So, that's something that we're really seeing. We're seeing a rise in solo travel as well, and therefore opportunities to cater to that. We're seeing a lot of unplanned breaks, not necessarily that one big holiday in a year, but maybe 4 or 5 short breaks and maybe one kind of a medium holiday in a year. So you kind of plan packages then accordingly. So that's really what you're seeing with respect to Gen Z and millennials. With let's say a Gen X, we are also seeing that they are looking at heightened levels of personalization. They're looking at elements of luxury, which are very, very important to them. And for them, a property that can really personify the individual experience that they want is what they identify as luxury. So, yes, we have, in fact, a plethora of offerings, even in terms of our hotels, that cater to these various segments. And we also market to them very, very differently.
I just want to also get a sense from you about your media mix. And digital will obviously be the lead, right? But are you using traditional media out of home? How do you plan that out?
Oh, absolutely. So I think, yes, digital is certainly the mainstay, but even for our food and beverage campaign, you will see a lot of outdoor that we will do because at the end of the day, it all has to add up to a 360 presence. We use influencers also a lot in our campaigns because we believe that's a fantastic partnership to kind of tell your story. And then, of course, there is connected TV and OTT, etc. So it's definitely a combination. And of course, PR. That's again a really, really important tool. So for us, all has to come together, and we're very clear that we will be where our audience is, and they are exactly in these platforms. So we will be there.
Currently, how many hotels does Hyatt or properties does Hyatt have in India? And looking ahead, how many more are you planning? Any particular region that you're focusing on?
So we currently have 52 properties in Southwest Asia, out of which 50 are in India. We have two in Nepal. We've had a series of exciting launches this year, and we will definitely get into new markets next year. We have plans for entering Bangladesh. We will be in Dhaka. We will, of course, be in markets like Kasauli, Ghaziabad, etc. In addition to, so it's a combination of width and depth. We will definitely have more property in some of the cities that we're already in and also explore new cities. We've also had, Mark Hopenmason going on record that we will want to be 100 hotels in the next 5, 6 years. So that is very much our vision.
So you're going down to Tier 1, Tier 2, you're going deep down basically.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because I think the consumer over there is really hungry for hospitality experiences, and we find that they really want to enjoy the best. And there's a huge opportunity for us in these markets.
Globally, Hyatt has a huge portfolio of brands under its umbrella. In India, but we have just Hyatt Grand, Hyatt Regency, and Andaz in Delhi. Are you looking, because you mentioned you're going to be opening more properties, so are you planning to get down any of your international sub brands to India?
Well, we not don't have only the ones you've mentioned. We have 9 brands in India. In
Okay.
fact, JDV by Hyatt, which is part of our independent collection, was our latest launch. Yes, to answer your question, we will constantly be evaluating new opportunities. We will be also bringing the Unbound collection very soon. And as we expand, you will definitely see much more and many more launches and interesting launches.
We're right now heading to probably the Christmas and then New Year. This is when people party, go out. So, what are your marketing plans for this particular period of time?
Well, our marketing plans are kind of always on, and I think with digital, you can always kind of be there where the consumer is. So we are talking about our experiences. We're talking about personalization. This is a very, very big period for us. Like you rightly said, Christmas and New Year, where a lot of plans are made. So our focus is to really deliver the Hyatt experience seamlessly and to be there when the consumer is thinking about a vacation. We definitely want them to think about Hyatt.
We've spoken about what we can expect from Hyatt, but is there anything else that we can expect from Hyatt looking ahead, which we may have missed out?
Well, I think we've covered the biggest things for us. We're going to end this year with a bang with the marketing campaign which we are doing, which is a really really strategic and important piece for us. You'll see a lot of interesting stuff with the Instagram launch as well. I think the other thing that I probably want to touch upon is World of Hyatt, which is our loyalty program. We
Loyalty
currently
program.
have close to 2 million customers on World of Hyatt. It has been rated as one of the most valuable loyalty programs from a customer perspective. And, we do a lot of things to try and ensure that our customers get the best possible options in hospitality that there is. We've also tied up with NMACC, which is Nita Mukesh Ambani Cultural Center, which is a partnership between World of Hyatt and NMACC, where we're offering our members some of the most wonderful experiences like access to Broadway shows and fantastic art deco exhibitions, etc. So I think that's really a big, big pillar for us. And going forward, we will continue to focus on, trying to make Hyatt one of the most loved brands in Southwest Asia by promising hospitality which is unmatched, by also promising communication and marketing initiatives which speak to the consumer the way they want uh, them to be heard.
Deepa, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Sundar.